Right. Good evening, everybody. I can see Madam Afiniki. You don't want to, you don't want to miss this topic.
It's my sister that asked me to call that you quickly join. Good evening, sir. Happy Sunday.
Happy Palm Sunday.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
So we're going to start. As I have earlier stated, that we're going to be looking at forward contracts, forward rate agreements, forward rate agreements, which is a concept under forward contracts. It's not difficult. It's very simple. But if you don't know it, to look as if you want to climb mountain Kilimanjaro. So that is one thing about the topic. So I've taken my time to look at it again to see how I can present it in a very simple way. And that is why I don't want to miss the class tonight, because I don't want to have carryover of this topic. Once I treat this topic, I think my mind will be very at peace. I know we are moving forward. So forward contracts. When we talk about forward contracts, is one of the ways we hedge against foreign exchange fluctuation. One of the ways we hedge against foreign exchange fluctuation. And forward contracts, these are agreements to deliver foreign exchange at a future date, at an exchange rate that is agreed today. Now, let's make it practical. For example, you want to enter into an agreement in the next 3 months. In the next 3 months. The next 3 months from now will be what? Which month? This is March, April, May, June. Isn't it? You want to enter into an agreement in the next 3 months. But you need to establish the terms of contract as at today. As at today. So any agreement you establish today will be binding even when there is fluctuation in foreign exchange. What you've agreed upon today will suffice, will be what we stand. Now, in forward contracts, in foreign exchange and forward rate agreements, what happens is that, for example, let's say Madam Ruth wants to enter into an agreement with a bank, with First Bank. As of today, Madam Ruth and First Bank have jointly agreed that the rate will be 5%. Will be 5%. Just follow. The rate will be 5%. Now, let's say as at June, there is an increase in the exchange rate. Instead of 5% that we agreed now, it now fluctuates to 6%. 6%. Now, Madam Ruth will pay the 6% interest, but the bank will compensate her for the increase of 1%. The bank will compensate her for the increase of 1% because she has already agreed with the bank that this is the rate. That is when there is increase, when there is increase in terms of the exchange rate. But when there is decrease, we've agreed today 5%, but there is a decrease in the exchange rate to, let's say, 4%. What will happen? What will happen? What will happen?
My room to balance up the money, sir.
Very good. Yes. So roots will balance up the money. This is just one of the key concepts I just want us to get as far as this class is concerned. Once you understand this, you are done with forward contracts. So once we agree today that it is 6%, any increase, the bank will compensate the borrower. Any decrease, the borrower will pay the bank. Take note of that. Now, one thing with forward contracts that I discover students find difficult, if you look at the example I forwarded to the group, you'll see some variables. Yes, looking at this example, you can see 2v4, 2v5, 3v5. What is the meaning of this? What is the meaning of this? Now, this is just notations. For example, you want to enter into a 2-month contract, a 2-month contract in the next 2 months. In the next 2 months, how are you going to interpret that? You want to enter into a 2-month contract in the next 2 months. It means in the next 2 months will be 4 months. It means 4 minus 2 will give you the period that the contract will lapse. It means the contract will just be for 2 months. So if they want to express it, it will be the time in which you are setting the agreement and the time in which the contract will end. So you're expected to go into a contract in the next 2 months, and the contract will last for 2 months. It means 4 minus 2 will give you the 2 months that the contract will last. For example, let's look at 2v5. You want to go into a contract for 3 months, but the contract for that 3 months will start in the next 2 months. In the next 2 months, how are you going to represent that notation? It means in the next 2 months, that is 2, the contract will last for 3 months. It means all put together is 5. 5 minus 2, the contract will be for the period of what? Of 3 months. I don't know if you are getting this. Are you getting it? All right, fine. Now, this 3v5, the interpretation is what? That I want to go into a contract in the next 3 months, but the contract will last for what? 2 months. It means that what? In the next 3 months, the contract will commence, but it will end by the end it will end in the month 5. It will end in month 5. So 5 minus 3 will give you what? 2. It means the contract will last for just 2 months. 2 months. 2 months. So sometimes they might give you this notation. Sometimes they will not give it to you. If you look at one of the examples in the ICANN study test, FM, you discover that there is a question put there. They were asking you, what is the contract period? The contract period. They are expecting you to show this notation. They're expecting you to show this notation as the contract period to interpret that, okay, the contracts will be for just 2 months, for 3 months, or 4 months. So because of time, let's look at this example. Let's look at this example that Anyfields PLC financial projection shows an expected cash deficit in 2 months' time of $8 million, which will last for approximately 3 months. It is now 1st November 20x4. The treasurer is concerned that interest rates may rise before 1st January 20x5. The bank quotes the following rate for forward rate agreement. Now, looking at this contract or this question, how many month contracts is Anyfield planning to enter into? How many month contracts? How many month contracts? Can I get
3
a response?
months. 3 months.
3 month contracts. 3 months. Even when it is not clearly stated, even when they didn't give us this notation, you should be able to know that it will be 3 months. And how are you going to represent 3 months? It will be what? That in 2 months' time, it means 2 verse 5. So 5 minus 2 will give you what? 3. 5 minus 2 will give you 3. It means that what will be the interest rate? The interest rate we are to pick will be this. That is 2V5 equal to what? 5 to 4.70. Now, if you want to borrow, at what interest rate will the bank issue out the loan? Is it at the lower interest rate or the higher
Higher
interest?
rate.
Is the higher rate. Take note of that. Is the higher rate. The higher rate. Now, looking at this question, required. What will be the forward rate agreement with bank, and what rate will apply? So what will be the forward rate agreement? The forward rate agreement will be what? 2V5, that is 2 months to 5 months, based on what rate? Based on this rate, 5% to what? 4.7%. Well, the actual rate will be 5% because you are trying to get a loan. So the actual rate will be what? 5%. So that is what the A part is asking you. That what will be the forward rate agreement? It's as simple as that. I've seen that in past question. That is why I have to include it as, and it's also in the question in the ICANN study test, that what will be the forward rate agreement? Just for you to go and tell the examiner, the forward rate agreement will be what? 2V5, which is what? 3 months. And the rate will be what? 5%. 5%. And you get your mark for that. Now, the B, calculate the interest payable if in 2 months' time the market rate is 7% or 4%. Now, the agreed forward rate agreement is what? The agreed forward rate is what? The agreed, no, the rate.
5%.
5%. 5%. 5%. Now, due to fluctuation, there is an increase of 7%. What will happen? It means
the bank will compensate.
Very good. The bank will compensate any field. What is the variation? 2%. 2%. So it means the bank will compensate any field, because any field will actually pay 7%, but there will be a compensation back to any field to reduce the interest rate, because the agreed rate is just 5%. Now, in the case of 4%, what will happen? We agreed 5%, but there's a reduction of 1%. So who will compensate?
Any field.
Any field we have to pay the bank. Any field we have to pay the bank. So let's show this in
Yes, sir. Please, sir. The 5% is in the question. I'm not seeing it, sir.
See it, man. This rate here is a 3 months contract. So the rate associated with 3 months, we said 5 minus 2 is 3. That's the, once you are borrowing, you borrow at the bank will give you the money at a higher rate, which is 5 here. This is it, man. This is it. 5%.
Sorry, sir. I'm not seeing the screen.
Can anybody see my screen?
We can see
We
your
are
screen.
not seeing it.
Yeah, I'm not seeing it.
Showing.
We are seeing, sir.
If you can't see, just log out and come in. I'm trying to manage my battery so that at least let me solve one question before I get a notification, before it log me out. So if you can't see the screen, just log out and log in again. Solution. So we have 2 interest rates. That is 7% or 4%. Now the agreed is what? Is 5%. How do we know it is agreed? Because the contract will lapse for what? 3 months, and 3 months is fall within this range. 2V5 means in the next 2 months you enter into a 3 month contract, into 3 month contract, and this is the expression here. This is the expression of 3 months contracts. So based on the question, the value of the loan is what? We want to get how much loan? 8 million. 8 million. So the interest payable is what? The interest payable. Take note, interest is always stated per annum. Per annum. And you must always take note, the loan is for how many months? 3 months. It means you have to prorate the interest. You have to prorate the interest. So we have interest payable based on 7% will be what? Interest payable. All right, let me quickly go to notification. Interest payable is what? 8 million. 8 million. The interest is what? Based on 7% will be what? In relation to 3 months. In relation to 3 months. When you compute this, what will be your outcome?
140,000.
You have 140,000. This will be what you are expected to pay based on 7%. In terms of 4%, it will be what? It will be 8 million. It will be 8 million.
80,000.
Okay, fine. 80,000. 0.04 by what? 3/12. So we have it as what? 80,000. 80,000. Now, all things being equal, how much do we agree? We agree that it will be what? It will be 5%. We agreed that you're supposed to pay me 5% interest. Okay, let me just go this way. Now, based on 7%, there will be a compensation. There will be a compensation. Compensation receivable. Compensation receivable. Now, the compensation will be based on how many percent?
2%.
Very fine, 2%. Be based on 2%. That is 8 million. 8 million. How do we get 2%? That is 7% minus what? Minus the 5% that we agree. Multiply by what? 3/12. Because it's a 3 months contract. 3 months contract. So based on that, what will be the compensation to be paid to any field? It will be what? 40,000.
Yeah.
So now, if that is 40,000, our locked in interest rate is what? Or the effective interest rate is 5%. That is what we agreed. Effective interest rate is 5%. Is 5%. So based on 5%, how much are we supposed to pay, all things being equal? 5% of 8 million multiplied by 3/12 to give you what? To give you 100,000. That is what you are supposed to pay. So when you say 140 minus 42, you still get that same 100,000. But please compute that. Let's see.
It's 100, sir.
100, fine. So you can do it in 2 ways. So these, we have a lower rate
Please,
against
how
what
did
we
you get the 100?
140 minus 40, you have 100. Or you can say 5% of 8 million multiplied by 3/12. You will still have, this is what you are supposed to pay as interest. As interest. But because it increased to 7%, any field paid this. So as a bank, you return back 40,000 to any field as a compensation. But in this case now of 4%, any field is to compensate the bank because we agreed 5%. And now there's a reduction of 1%. What will happen? There will be payables. There will be payables. The bank will pay. Once you go below the agreed, you pay the bank. Once you go higher than agreed, the bank will pay you. The bank will pay you a compensation. So payables will be what? Payables.
20,000.
Okay, fine, 20,000. So we have it as 8 million. 8 million. 8 million multiplied by what? The agreed value is what? 0.05. The actual value is what? 0.04. That is 1% difference. Multiplied by what? 3/12. We have what? We have 20. 20. Any field will pay the bank 20,000. So when you add to give you what? Minus 100,000. 100,000. 100,000. Minus 100,000. Minus 100,000. So
I have a question.
all right.
Can we just put direct the 1% instead of showing this 5 minus 0.05?
Yes, you can put it.
Minus.
If I go direct, I'll get too many questions. That is why I'm showing it.
Oh, all right, sir, it's okay.
Yes.
So please, I have a question. No,
what
why
is
did
the
you add the 4%, but in the 7% you minus it?
Yes.
I don't
In this,
understand.
it said in the 7%, I add. Where did I add?
As in, you arrive at your effective interest, you said 140
Yes.
minus 40.
Yes.
The
Yes.
corner is plus.
Yes. This is it. What is the rates we agreed on?
5%.
5%. Now, this is any feed statement. Any feed paid 140. And on a normal day, the bank or the company is supposed to pay 100,000. So the bank will compensate any field for the fluctuation in exchange rate because the locked-in rate is 5%, but due to exchange rate fluctuation, it increased to 7%. So there will be a return back to any field as receivable. So any field is receiving 40,000. The company already paid 140,000. So the fact that we are now receiving 40,000, we are now being the actual amount we have to pay will now reduce to what? 100,000. Now, in this case, when the interest rate goes below the agreed rate, the company will pay back the bank. So any fees paid what? 80,000 here because the fluctuation rates reduce below the agreed locked-in rate of 5%. And we've already agreed that you have to pay me 5%. Now, what will happen? The difference is 1%. So that difference, which will result to 20,000, will still be paid by any field. And that is why you can see us adding it back. That all things being equal, what you're supposed to pay is 5% of 8 million. You understand? Irrespective of what happened.
Thank you, sir.
Pay that value. So that is that for that.
Yes,
that.
sir.
All right,
Yes, sir. Before you go for, I'm so sorry. I still don't see 5% in the question.
This is it, ma. All these things are percentage. All these things here, they are percentage. See,
4.75.
4.75, 4.50, 5%, 4.70. We are choosing 5% because we are borrowing. The bank will borrow us at a higher rate. And the contract is for what? 3 months. That is why we are concerned about this. This is our concern here. This is the rate we're using.
Plus 5. So
this is another question. Able PLC needs to borrow 30 million for 8 months, starting in 3 months' time. Now, understand this concept. Starting in 3 months' time. You want to borrow money for 8 months, but it will commence in 3 months' time. So what will be the period? What will be your expression? What will be your expression? Even though I've shown it here, in 3 months' time, to start in 8 months, it means 11 minus 3 will give me what?
8.
8. Able PLC need to borrow 30 million for 8 months. The period of contract will be 8 months, right? Starting in 3 months' time. In 3 months' time means 11 minus 3. You'll be the one to show this expression most times. Sometimes the question might not give it to you. So you'll be the one to interpret and tell them that, okay, it is an 8-month contract, that is 3V11. So the forward rate as at this period, as at the time the contract is being locked, will be what? Or is being established, is what? 2.75% to what? 2.60%. Now, show the interest payable if the rate is 4% and what? And 2%. Can you quickly do that?
Yes, sir.
The interest payable. The interest payable it means we are supposed to pay 2.75. This is the actual value, but due to fluctuation, you are now paying 4%. What will be the effect? You are supposed to pay 2.75. Due to fluctuation, in another way around, you are now paying what? 2.2%. You are now paying 2%. So what will be the effect? Just similar to what we've shown before now. When it is 4%, there will be what? There will be compensation to Able PLC. When it is 2%, Able PLC will pay the bank because 2% is below the agreed rate of 2.75. And Amineka, what is the question? I can see your hand up.
Okay, I've already asked it.
Okay. I have
Sir,
to.
no, it's that number one, but maybe I'll watch it later. I join by 5 o'clock. That number 1A. I did not get what to explain.
Okay, no problem. So what is our result for 4%? Our result for 4% is what?
800,000.
Fine. That is interest payable is 800,000. Would there be compensation?
Yes, sir.
Here's the question.
So my other laptop is gone. Even this one, the battery is low. So I have to do very
I got
fast.
24.
You say you have 24?
24,000, yes, sir. I don't know what I did.
So 800,000 is correct for interest payable. There will be a compensation of 250,000.
250,000.
Yes. So how much are you now going to pay? You are expected to pay 550. Isn't it?
Yes, sir.
550. 550. That is 800,000 minus 250. Expected to pay, that is the actual value, that is 2.75% multiplied by 800,000. Expected to pay what? 550,000 as your normal interest. Yes. I don't know if you get that. Do you get that, please?
No, sir.
The difference between 4% and 2.75 is what?
1.25.
Fine. 1.25 multiplied by what? Multiplied by 30 million. Multiplied by 8 over 12. Give you what?
250,000.
So 800,000 minus 250,000 will give you the actual amount you're supposed to pay. That is under 4%. Madam Choma, do you get it?
Yes, sir. Thank
So
you.
under 2%, what will happen? Your interest payable based on
150,000.
okay, your interest yes, 150,000 is what able will pay back to the bank. Yes, but the first
Total of
interest,
450.
yes, the first interest,
First interest is 400,000. 400,000.
yeah, 400,000. That is 2% of 30 million multiplied by 8 over 12. 2% of 30 million multiplied by 8 over 12. That will give us what?
$400 million. 400,000.
400,000.
So your slide is showing something else.
Yes, I'm not in the question. Can use another one. So 400,000. I want those. Let me see those in this class before. So the payables, 2% is less than 2.75, right? 2% is less than 2.75. So the difference between 2% and 2.75 is what? 0.75. So it means that able is going to pay the bank the difference. And the difference will be what? 0.75% multiplied by 30 million multiplied by 8 over 12 will give us what?
150,000.
Yes, 150,000. Madam Victoria, are you getting 150,000? Madam Victoria.
Yes, I got it, sir.
Okay. Yes, the other Madam Victoria. She's not there. I also.
Hello, sir.
Let me talk. Are you getting 150,000?
I just joined. So.
All right. Yes, Mr. Friday.
Sir, please, why did we use 11 months instead of 12 months? And that's this way you say 11 months minus 3.
Yes, sir. The contract is for how many months, sir? Check the question. The contract is for how many months?
For 8 months, sir.
So now, as of today, we're anticipating that in the next 3 months, we'll enter into an 8-month contract. So how many months do we have in total? If you enter into an 8-month contract in the next 3 months, It means 3 plus 8 will give you what?
11.
Will give you
Okay.
what?
Okay.
So
11.
11 minus the 3-month period you are waiting will give you what? 8. So for you to what? Hope that is fine, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
All right. I think I can comfortably teach now. The light is back. So let's look at this example that
Sir, please
finish.
show the workings, please.
No, I can't. Oh. This system, I can't type easily here. I just powered the other one since they restored the lights. I'll switch back to the other one.
Please, I have question to ask.
What is your question, ma'am?
Does it mean that when we finish the calculation that the effective rate
Yes.
should be the effective interest calculated should be the same for both percentage?
No, not always in all instances, please.
Thank you,
We are
sir.
still moving forward. You see some
Because
examples.
this one is different. That's why I'm asking.
Which one, ma'am?
This one we just calculated now. This Ebu PLC
What is
for
different, ma'am?
4%. For 4% is 530. For 2% is 550.
Wow. Check your workings again. I will show the workings now.
They are
Let me
both
see.
550,000.
Let me show the workings. I think I'm back now.
Okay, it's
I will show the
550.
work.
It's
So you've
550.
seen it is 550, right?
550. Thank you, sir.
So let me go back to all right. I think let me show the workings. Let me show the workings. So we have it solution. We have it as this. We have 4%. Then we have 2%. So the interest payable we'll have it as 30 million multiplied by what? This is based on 4% multiplied by 0.04. How many months? Interest is prorated. 8 months. 8 months. So we have it as 8 divided by 12. When you multiply, you have what? How much are you paying?
800,000.
800,000. For 2% interest rate, it will be what? It will be 30 million multiplied by what? 0.02 multiplied by what? 8 divided by 12. So we have it as what? 400,000. Now, the agreed interest rate is what? 2.75. 2.75. The actual is what? 4%. When the actual is greater than the agreed, the borrower will pay, the bank will pay the borrower the difference. When the actual is less than the agreed, the borrower will pay the bank. So in this case, where the actual is greater than 2.75,
Mr. Tome, sorry for drawing you back. Sorry. It's like this topic is new to me. I'm trying to get it, but yet this interest payable, the ones you worked, I understood that very well. But this one you are talking of when the actual is above the
yes, sir.
The agreed one. How do you know this 2.75 to 2.60? How do you know that this one is the actual and this one is the agreed one?
Based on the period of entering into the contract, sir. The forward rate agreement. This FRA means what? Forward rate agreement. This is the agreement. But
Yes.
when you agreed before the end of the contract. So as at when the contract set in, for example, you are in March, you've already agreed on a rate that come what may, you and your bank, you will agree that the interest rate will be what? For the bank to borrow you, it will be 2.75. You understand?
The first, they agreed. The letter is the actual.
Yes. Yes. So
To take it like that. Okay.
So once there is any deviation from the agreed, and the deviation is higher than the agreed, the bank will compensate the borrower based on the difference. The difference between 4% and 2.75 is what? Now, if
1.5.
yes, if the actual is 2% is less than the agreed, the borrower will pay the bank. Are you clear, sir?
Yes.
So now, in this case, all things being equal, how much interest are we supposed to pay on 30 million based on the agreed value? 2.75. 2.75% on 30 million will give you what? Will give us what?
It's to 825,000.
2.75, then multiply by 8/12.
Okay.
You know, the interest is annual, then you prorate it.
Okay. I'm getting a different figure.
Mr. Minister, I thought the difference, the rate will be the compensation.
We are
which is-
coming there. I'm just still asking a question.
Yes, sir.
So when you apply the actual value, this interest rate here, 2.75, multiply by 30 million, take note, 8/12. What will you get?
Got 550,000, sir.
Fine, that is what I want to get now. So your actual, you're locked in, that is the agreed value you're supposed to pay, is what? You're locked in effective interest rates or effective rate, effective value should be 550, right?
Yes, sir.
Fine. Now, this is what you're supposed to pay, 550. But based on fluctuation, you are now paying what? 800,000.
800.
800,000. It means the bank will have to compensate you
With 250.
with 250. How do you get that? How do you get that? That is receivable, compensation receivable or receivable. How do you get that? The difference, that is 30 million multiplied by what? The difference, 4% minus what? Minus
Is it
2.75%.
1.25.
1.25 multiplied by what? 8 divided by 12. So once you do this mathematics, what will be your result?
250.
250. This is receivable by Able. So if Able should receive 250 as an income, 800 minus 250 will give you what?
550.
550. This is it here. This is it. Now, in this case, where the actual is less than the agreed, what will happen? You have payable. Able will pay the bank the difference. So you have it as what? 30 million multiplied by what? That is let's say 2.75. The difference, 2.75 minus what? 2% multiplied by what? 8 over 12. This will give you what?
150.
It give us payable. It means it's going out. So when you add, the result will be what?
550.
550. 550. Is this clear, please?
Oh, yes. Again, sir, please, this 2.75, 2.60, so all of them are in percentage, regardless of
Yes,
the
sir.
sign, regardless of the sign.
Yes, sir. Yeah, interest rates in percentage. So let's take it further. Let's see. You should be able to solve this. That the cash flow forecast shows that it expects to borrow 2 million in 4 months' time for a period of 3 months. FINI is concerned that by the time the loan is taken out, interest rates will have risen. The current interest rate is 5% required. Determine the cash flow if the interest rate when the loan is taken out is 6.5%, 4%. So can I get solution to this?
Yes, sir.
I can comfortably wait for your solution. I'm not rushing again. $6.54%.
Will it be 3V7?
How many month contracts?
3 months, sir.
4V7. 4V7.
4.
As FINI
Okay.
cash flow forecast shows that it expects to borrow 2 million in 4 months' time for a period of 3 months. So 3 months, right? So 7, that is 4V7. 7 minus 4, 3. For this question, I want to show something. That is something very important. But solve, when you solve, we'll now add one more step. Then I'll now go and there is a question I've seen in the SFM past question. I will forward it. Everything you are doing here is what is in that question. So I'll forward it to you so you solve later. So I just want to add one more step. I just need to get your answers first.
$50,000, sir.
50,000 for which one, sir?
For all.
Okay. How did you get 50,000, sir?
Okay, for the first one, the 6.5, they're supposed
Yes.
to pay 25 million. That is 5% of 2 million, which is 25,000. Then the interest, the payable, is 6.5% of 2 million times 3/12, which will
Yes,
give
sir.
us 32,500. Then the
Yes.
compensation on that same month, that is 1.5% of 2 million multiplied by
Yes.
3/12 will give us
Yes, sir.
7,500. So by the time you deduct it from the effective and the amount payable, you get 50,000. Then for
No,
the
you
other
do it.
4%,
Okay. Wait, sir. The first analogy, 6.5 multiplied by 3/12 multiplied by 2 million, you have 32,500, right?
yes, sir.
Then your receivable, 1.5%,
7,500.
7.5, fine. So the difference, okay, fine. Okay, 7,500.
Yes, sir.
7,500. Okay. All right, fine. Receivable.
So at the end of the day,
But
I
that
get 50.
receivable,
Yes, sir.
when you know that 32,000 is in brackets. So
Yes, sir.
32,000 minus inflow of 7.5 will give you what? 32,000.
25,000.
Very good.
25,000.
25,000. Yes, that is for that 6.5. Then you
Yes.
now go to
Then
what?
plus
4%, right?
yes.
Then for 4%, what do you have, sir?
20,000
Yes, very
and
good.
5,000.
Yes, 20,000 and 5,000. So when you add, you have what?
25,000.
25,000.
Very good, 25,000. That is very correct. That is correct. So there is a step. There is a step. For example, you know the agreed rate is 5%, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
You can walk back to get that 5%. You can walk back based on what the figures you have. You can walk back to get the 5%. And how do you do that? The formula is effective interest rate formula is interest amount divided by loan amount. Interest amounts effective interest rate is equal to interest amount divided by divide by loan amount. Divide by loan amount. Multiply by, now you see these values, they are in months. They are in months. These values are in months. If you want to make them, return them back to annual values, what will you do? In the question, very good. You've already studied this topic, Ma. So it will be multiplied by 12, divide by the months. For example, in this other case, in this case, how many months are we looking at? 3 months. So it will be 12 divided by 3 to return the values back to the annual value. So based on what you've solved, sir, your interest amount is what? 25,000.
25,000.
What is your loan amount?
2 million.
So when you substitute and multiply, what will you have as your effective interest rate?
20,000 for 6.5%.
5%. 5%.
5%.
You see? You can see you getting back that 5%. So, but let's just show this working. I don't know if everybody is okay with. Hope everybody can solve it, or we should still solve it.
Enjoy it, oh, please. Thank you.
Sir, please, the interest rate, I got 25%. The receivables for under 6.5, I got 5%. Then I deducted it, I got 20,000.
7,000.
25,000 minus 5,000, 20,000.
It's 7,500. It's not 5,000. 7,500.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Tope.
This is it. Let's just show it. Interest payable. Interest payable, that is 6.5. 6.5%. Multiplied by what? 3/12.
Okay.
Multiplied by what? By 2 million.
Okay.
When you do that, you get what? You do that, you get what?
32,500.
So 32,500. 32. This is what you're supposed to pay. Now, in terms of 4%, what will be the result? For 4%,
20,000.
And
20,000.
20,000.
Yeah.
20,000.
so you have it as, this is what you're supposed to pay, 20,000. Now, what did you agree? The agreed rate is what? 5%. So when it is 6.5%, what will happen? And it is 6.5%, it means you overpaid.
1.5%. Yeah, compensation.
So, compensation is receivable. Receivable. And how do you get that? It will be
6.5 minus 5.
yes, 6.5 minus 5%. When you do that, you have what? Multiply by what? 3/12. Multiplied by what? 2 million. So your result will be
7.5.
7.5. So when this is compensation, it's an inflow to fee. So when you say 32,505, your value will be what?
25. Okay.
Be what?
5,000.
Your interest payable. To be what? 25,000.
5,000.
5,000. Now, it's reduced to 4%. There will be payable here. Payable. Payable. Now, the difference between 5 and 4 is what? 1%.
1.
Multiply by what? 3 divided by 12. Multiply by what? 2 million. The
5,000.
result will be what?
5,000.
It's 5,000.
Okay.
5,000. So when you add minus, you have what?
25,000 negative. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Next time you will solve it too.
Okay,
Madam.
sir.
Next time. So let's take it further. I think there are some questions I
Hello,
didn't.
sir.
Yes, ma.
Hello, sir.
I can hear
Please,
you.
can
Ma.
you take it back to your slide? Can you take it back to the walk back?
Is it this
Okay.
place, ma?
Yes.
Can we use this to get, like, instead of going, can we use this?
Yes, you can use it.
Okay.
There are many routes to this. Like the next question we'll solve, you say I will show you 3 different approach to solve the next one. The next aspect we are moving into. So let's take down this question. You can you can check your study pack. There's a question there on LIBOR. Yeah, before then, what is LIBOR? Or NIBOR? LIBOR. Yes. LIBOR is a London Interbank Offer Rate. LIBOR. LIBOR is London Interbank Offer Rate. London Interbank Offer Rate. What is the meaning of LIBOR? Why are we talking about LIBOR? Why are we talking about LIBOR? That is the rate that banks lend to each other. It is the rate banks lend to each other. So, and when you talk about LIBOR, you always see things like basis point. Basis point. Basis point simply means expression in percentage. Expression in percentage. So the LIBOR is London Interbank Offer Rate. Is the interest rate at which major international banks lend money to each other. And you can see NIBOR, but most times you always see NIBOR is Nigeria Interbank Offer Rate. But in most questions they use the word LIBOR. LIBOR. L-I-B-O-R. L-I-B-O-R. So once you see LIBOR, sometimes they will tell you basis point. Basis point. Basis point is the margin of lending money to cover administrative cost. To cover administrative cost. So this basis point is used to express small changes or margin in the lending rate. So, for example, if the question states that 1 basis point means what? 1%. If the question states that 50 basis points, it means 50%. The question states that 30 basis points, it means 30%. It means the LIBOR value will be given plus 50 basis points. It means if the LIBOR value is 30%, plus 50 basis point means plus 50%. Plus 50%. So the LIBOR is the base rate, the base. But when you now add the basis, it will now become the actual. So I'm saying this because when we move to the next question, you see the effect of this. So LIBOR can be expressed, and the basis points can be put as BPS. In case the examiner didn't write it in full, BPS means basis point. BPS. Basis point. You can just write 50 and put BPS. 50 and just write BPS. This is basis point. And the meaning of this means what? It's 50%. Can be 25 basis points. 25 basis points is 25%. 25%. In case there will be fluctuation, in case there will be administrative cost, they add this value as basis point. It's just a margin for extra charge of service. So let's look at a question. Let's present a question that we can use to explain this. Let's present a question. If you have your study pack, you can go to your study pack, because I'm trying to locate a question. Okay, let's. No, I think we've exhausted those questions.
Okay.
Yes, let's look at this question. Let's look at this question. Example. Kelechi wants to borrow. Kelechi wants to borrow 50 million naira. We're calling the big money. 50 million naira.
Money that we are not seeing it, sir.
You will see it, don't worry. Kelechi wants to borrow 50 million in 3 months. 3 months time. A period of 6 months. Company borrows, you must know how to express that, because the questions will always confuse you by giving you different range. The company borrows at LIBOR plus. LIBOR is on its own, plus is another thing, plus 50 basis points. 50 basis points. So LIBOR LIBOR is currently 3.5%. 3.5%. The finance manager wishes to protect the short-term investments from adverse movements in interest rates by using forward rate agreements, forward rate agreements. Most times they will just put FRA. They will not write it in full. So when you see FRA, don't get scared. Now, we have it. The FRA prices. They are in percentage. So we have 3 verse what? Verse 9.
Verse 9.
The value is 3.85 to 3.80. You can have 4. This is how the examiners will put it. It's you that will now choose. That is why you must know how to interpret that. 3.58 to 3.53. You can have 5. 9. Can have it as 3.55 to what? 3.45. The question is, required. Determine the appropriate forward rate agreement interests required. Appropriate forward rate agreement interest required. Okay. And B, we can say what will be the effective interest rate? The effective interest rates if LIBOR increase by 0.5%. What will be the effective interest rate if LIBOR increase by 0.5%? Now, the A part, the question is what? Determine the appropriate forward rate agreement interest required. So what is the appropriate forward rate agreement interest required? What is the appropriate?
3V9.
3V9. So what is the interest?
3.85%.
3.85.
Yes, 3.85%. That is the answer to A. So when you check past questions, you always see this, but then no student don't like this topic. So once they ask these simple questions, students will run away. So don't run away from it. So you can see how simple it is. Thus, determine the appropriate forward rate agreement interest required. It's just write in statement form. 3V9, the interest rate is 3.85%. That is the applicable interest rate. Now, what will be the effective interest rate if LIBOR increases by 0.5%? Now, the agreed rate is what? The agreed rate.
3.85%.
3.85%.
Fine. Solution. The agreed rate or the lock-in rate, agreed rate is 3.85. Now, we are to compare the agreed rate with our LIBOR, the base LIBOR. The LIBOR is what?
3.5%.
Fine. So this question is saying, what would be the effective interest rate if LIBOR increases by 0.5%? 0.5% plus 3.5% is what we have to work with, isn't it? So the base LIBOR will be what? 4%.
4%.
Fine. I'm adding the word base. If you go to your literatures, you might not see base, but because I've evaluated, if I don't put it, there might be confusion as we go on. So base LIBOR, because there will be another value of LIBOR when we apply our addition of margin. So this is the base. So the base is 3.5 plus that increase stated in the question, which is 0.5. You have it as what? 4%. Now, if you agree 3.85 and your base LIBOR is 4, what is happening here? We agree 3.8.
The bank will compensate.
The bank will compensate. The bank will compensate because we agree 3.85.
Of 0.2.
Yes, 0.15.
0.15.
That's 4 minus 3.85. So compensation value will be what? Or the rate of compensation. Compensation.
That the increase is not 0.05%.
No, it's 0.5.
Is it 0.5 or 0.05%? The increase.
0.5.
This is it, sir.
Okay, sir.
So the difference between 4 and 3.85 will give us what?
0.15.
0.15. So if you are to compensate, it will be based on what? Based on 0.15. Now, what is your actual, when the reality sets in, what is your actual LIBOR? LIBOR plus 50 basis points. LIBOR plus 50 basis points. LIBOR plus 50 basis points. Now, your base LIBOR is what? The base is
4.
what?
4%.
Very good. Plus 50 basis points.
That's 54%.
Actual will be 4 plus 0.4 plus 0.5, right? It will be what? 4.5.
Is it 0.5 or 50%? Okay.
It's 50%.
It's not 50. The LIBOR plus is 50, sir.
That is 50%.
Okay, 50%.
That should be 50%.
So 50%. That's your calculator for me. What is 50%?
Okay, 0.5. 0.5, sir.
Oh. Did I explain what basis point is?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I explained that anytime you see basis point, it is what?
Basis point is the margin.
Yes, margin and its percentage. So that 50%, when you press the calculator to give you 0.5. 0.5. So the actual LIBOR is what? It's
Mr. Tope.
I'm with you, ma'am.
This one now, we are having this 4%. Why
Yes.
didn't we convert it to 0.04?
You can convert it. You can press
Because of confusion,
4.5.
I think we should just leave this thing as 50% though. As we left this one as 4 like this, make confusion no enter. Madam Afiniki, you are laughing at me because you are loud.
Now, let me go back to so this is 3.5% plus 0.5 to give you what? 3.5 in percentage. 3.5 plus 0.5 will give you what?
4%.
4%. 4% plus 50%. 50 percentage, 0.5 in decimal will give you what?
4.5. Mr. Tope, you have confused us the more now.
No, there's no confusion here. This is a very simple something. 3.5. This is expression of percentage in decimal. 3.5 plus 0.5 is 4%.
Yes.
4% plus 0.5, which is an expression of 50% in decimal, is what? 4.5. There is no confusion here. There are different ways you can express things in percentage, either in decimal or based on percentage value. So we are expressing all these.
So please go back to the question. Let me get that 50% right now. Is that 50% you are getting? Is it what will be the effective interest rate in LIBOR if it increases by 0.5%? Is that what you're using?
No, there are two stages to this thing, sir. This is
50
it.
basis point. Yes.
The 50%.
Yeah, I'm talking about the actual. That 4 plus 50% you are now converting.
Yes.
Trying to bring confusion.
Yes.
Is that the
Yes.
50 basis point?
50 basis points. See it here. 50 basis points. And I explained that basis points are expressions.
I imagine all in percentage.
Percentage. So 50% is 0.5, which is this. Which is this. So 4 plus 0.5. 4.5. 4.5. 4.5. The question is this: what will be the effective rate? If this is your actual, what will be the effective rate of borrowing? The effective rate of borrowing. This is just one approach. I will show another approach. What will be the effective rate?
3.85.
The effective rate will be 4.5. This actual
4.5
minus the compensation. 4.5.
Wow.
Don't worry, it's not all. I will show you.
0.15.
I will show you based on, I will show you the ones we will be doing. Don't worry. So, but I think this approach is also simple when you have LIBOR. So 4.5
So it's now
minus
4.35.
4.35. Don't worry, you will see different approach. So less compensation. When you less your compensation is what?
0.15.
0.15. So what would be your effective interest rate?
4.35.
4.35. This is very straightforward, but you must follow this step. The next question I will show to you, you follow this step. Anyway, let's get there. 4.35%. You can solve this in another way. The long approach that you started with. Now, your actual LIBOR is 4.5, right? 4.5%. How much are we planning to borrow? 50 million, right? 50 million, isn't it?
Yes, sir. 15 million naira.
For how many months?
3 months.
6
No,
months.
for 6 months. 6 months.
So when you multiply, what will be your value? What will be your value?
$1,125,000.
1,125,000. Your compensation is what?
0.15.
0.15. Multiply by what?
50 million.
50 million. Multiply by what?
6/12.
What will be the value?
$375,000. 375,000.
375.
At 7,500.
So the difference will give you what? The interest amount. The interest amount.
1,087,500.
1,087,500. Now, the formula to compute effective interest rate is what? To compute
Interest amount all over loan.
Yes. So based on this question, the loan value is what?
50 million.
Mr. Tope,
50 million.
is that calculation? Let's do it again.
Which calculation?
This 0.15. Okay, thank you.
Multiply by 50
Thank
million.
you, sir. I've seen it. Hey.
So interest amount is what? 1,008. Your interest amount is 1,087,500. The loan amount is what? 50 million, right?
Yes, sir.
50 million. Multiply by what? 12. Divide by 6.
Over 6.
So when you do this, what will be your outcome?
4.35%.
4.35%. You see it.
Is it correct or not?
No, you are the one that will tell me if it's correct.
It's correct.
Go to your study pack if you have it. Page 418. Page 418. Let me see that. Do I have the?
Please, I'll go back to the solution. Let's write it. Okay.
I can FM. So you solve this question. I go and look at the solution in the pack.
God is seeing anybody that will look at the solution.
No. Later you say you don't know how to do it, then you go and look at the solution. So that when you go to the hall, you
go and look at the solution in the hall.
No. When you go to the hall, you'll be able to solve it by yourself. So let me change my slide to the question. I think I have the question now. So this is the question. That's a company has forecast that due to an expected cash shortage, it will need to borrow 20 million for 3 months. In 2 months' time, a bank quotes the following rate for forward rates. We have 2 V3 3.61 to 359, 2 V5 3.67 to 363, 3 V5 3.68 to 3.65. Required. What would be the forward rate agreement with the bank, and what rate would apply to the agreement? So, can I get a response to this?
2V5 equals to 3.675 to 3.65.
2 points.
No.
2V.
2V5. 3.67 to 3.63.
Okay. Now, since the bank wants
3.67.
yes, since the company
3.67.
yes, 3.67. Since the company wants to borrow, you use the higher rate, 3.67. 3.67. That is the
2V5.
That is the answer to this first part. So if the company can borrow at LIBOR plus 50 basis points, the company can borrow at LIBOR plus 50 basis points. What will be its effective rate of borrowing for the 3 months? If US dollar LIBOR is 4.50 at the start of the notional interest period for the forward rate agreement. When you see notional, notional just simply means fictitious. It's a fictitious element. It does not exist. So it's just there for computation. So, but based on what we saw, we should be able to attempt this. So what would be the compensation? Let's start with that. What will be the compensation? You agree 3.67. Your base LIBOR is what? What is the base?
4.5.
Base LIBOR. Very good. 4.50. So your base LIBOR minus the rate you locked in, the agreed rate, will give you your compensation. If you followed what we've done before now, you discover that is exactly what is playing out here. 4.50 minus 3 points. So your compensation will be what?
0.83%.
0.83.
Very good, 0.83. So for you to get your effective borrowing rate, what will you do? Your actual LIBOR now. Your actual LIBOR. What will be your actual LIBOR?
4.17%. Actual LIBOR is 5%.
Very good. Then when you less your compensation, you get your effective borrowing rate.
Yes, sir. 4.17%.
Yes, that is very correct. 4.17%. Another way, another simple approach is, but I will not advise you to do that. It's better you show your workings clearly. The simple approach is, once you get your rate 3.67, just add the margin to 3.67. You get same results as your effective borrowing rate. 3.67 plus 50 will give you what?
4.17.
4.17. But that one is too childish. It's not professional. But it's part of the working here. Yes, but it's part of what they've shown in their solution. Yes. You just get the, so you can use that formula, sir. That other formula, effective interest rate formula. Let's see if we'll get 4.17.
It's correct, sir.
All right. Let me see. Madam Joy.
Yes, sir.
How far?
I'm fine. I'm still trying to catch up with the class.
Okay.
I joined a bit late. I wasn't
Okay.
around. Yes, sir.
Zainab.
Sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Hope you are following.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Madam Mary.
Yes, sir.
Are you following?
I am. I'm just still trying to catch up. I was on transit. I just got my notes and I'm just trying to catch up with the class.
As I was trying to call your name, I have to check very well. Some people don't want me to call their name, so I have to check. Hope not one of these persons.
It's fine. But it's okay. I'll get it when I settle down.
Okay. Well, I have to be very careful. When you tell me, don't call my name. I have to watch very well before. So let's take this question. Then before I will now forward another question to the platform. The point is, you cannot run away from this. Either in financial management, even when you go to your SFM class, you still do this. Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm with you, ma'am.
So, what do we arrive at for the compensation plan rate?
Compensation rate is 0.83. 0.83. Then your effective borrowing rate is 4.17. Let's see what they've done in the.
That was the base LIBOR.
Exactly. I wanted to ask, is the labor rate always 50%?
No, it can change to 25 depending on the question.
Okay, because this question it wasn't given. This one that we just solved. So are we assuming that it's the 50%
No,
that
it's
was
given,
initially?
ma. Say it, ma. 50 basis points. It's given, ma.
Okay,
50
probably I did
basis.
not see that part.
Right.
Please, Mr. Tope, the base labor, what are we getting in this question now?
The base labor is 4.50.
Then we add the 50%, Abu.
No, the 50% addition is actual when you want to get your actual labor. When you want to get your,
But we added it initially, no?
you didn't add it.
What did you add? Which 0.5 did you add to have the 4% before? In the former question, initial question we just solved. You know,
That
it was
question,
3.5.
that question, they told you that LIBOR increase, isn't it?
Okay.
By 5%.
Okay.
In this case now, they are not telling you that labor is increasing.
It's not increasing. Thank you, sir. 0.5.
So this is just a simple question to
And
test
what's the
our understanding.
compensation?
Ma, you are not following when we were discussing this matter. Compensation should be 0.83.
They do shakara for me. I've gotten it.
Sir, can you please show your screen? I can't see your screen. For the question, this question we just solved.
Okay, ma. This is the question, ma.
I can't see your screen, but don't worry. Maybe later when you send the slide, I'll just follow up with it.
Okay. Let me share my screen. So let's take down this question.
I can see it now. Thank you.
All right. A bank can borrow for 9 months at 5%. A bank can borrow for 9 months at 5%. You can write.
Okay.
A bank can borrow for that's a thing. The bank can borrow for 9 months.
Excuse
at
me,
5.
sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I'm so sorry, sir. When we were working back, you know, if we are working back, we get interest amount over loan amount.
Yes, ma'am.
What do we now use for interest amount and loan amount in this figure now, in this question?
In the question, the interest amount will be 208.5 divided by 20,000 multiplied by 12/3. So how do you get 208? It will be 250 minus 4.15. That is 5 all over 100 multiplied by 20 million multiplied by 3/12. You have 250. 0.83 divided by 100 multiplied by 20 million multiplied by 3/12. You have 41.5. 250 minus 41.5. You have 208.5 divided by 20 million multiplied by 12/3.
Okay, sir.
I know I'm too fast, right?
I got it, sir.
All right. So So the question that a bank can borrow for 9 months at 5%. A bank can borrow percent and can deposit dollar funds. Can deposit dollar funds for 3 months. Can deposit dollar funds for 3 months. Can deposit dollar funds for 3 months. Can deposit dollar funds for 3 months at 4.75%. At 4.75%. 4.75%. At 4.75%. Suppose that it borrows 1 million for 9 months. Suppose that it borrows 1 million for 9 months. It borrows 1 million for 9 months and places them on deposit for 3 months. What would be the effective interest rates?
Sorry, sir, and places them what?
On deposit for 3 months. Places them on deposit for 3 months. What would be the effective interest rates? And another question. Let me show the question now. Another question. SFM, this question. Fine. So you can see the question on the screen. Is SFM first question that finance managers of multinational firms manage foreign exchange risk. In the light of the above statement, you are required to explain what is meant by hedging. Identify and explain 3 internal hedging techniques. If you check my slide, for those of you that used to write out the slide, you see this breakdown there. Internal hedging techniques. On 31st December 2014, Farmer PLC realized that it needs 100 million fixed rate loan. On 1st April 2015, Farmer PLC wants to hedge using forward rate agreements. The relevant forward rate agreement rate will be 6% on 31st December 2014. Determine the result of the forward rate agreement and the effective loan rate if the 6-month forward rate benchmark moves to 5% and 9%. Class, any problem with this question? Any problem with this question? You should be able to solve. So solve and send your solution. Let's see.
Sorry.
Yes.
These questions will be solving.
Yes, ma'am.
So what's your topic? Really?
The topic. The topic.
Yes, sir.
The topic is
Risk
interest
management.
rates, risk management, stress rate management. So these are hedging techniques. How can you guide against fluctuation in foreign exchange. So it is through forward rate agreement. I forwarded a video on how to use money market to hedge. If you go through your study pack, you will see those analyses on that video, how we use boxes to try to solve questions on money market hedging. Yes, so please watch the video. I have a question I'm going to send as an assignment. I promise to send an assignment. Yes, so I will use that to know those that have watched and those that have not watched to learn. Yes, so I'll forward an assignment on that, and on this I'll still send more questions on this, so that when you see question and you see 9v3, you not say what is this again. I know before now some people used to ask question, what is the meaning of this? Yes, so at least today we will not ask the meaning of this again. You've known what 9v9 is, 3v9 is. So
Thank you, sir.
class, let's go and enjoy our Sunday.
God, sir. Mr. Peter Obi, longest time.
Longest time. My dad, I buried my dad last week.
Thank you so much, sir.
Sorry, sir. Condolence, sir.
Thank you. But condolence come with money.
You got okay. Start your
I don't understand, Mr. Peter Obi.
I see I've not understood it too. I'll talk that one offline.
Mr. Tope, stop the recording, please.